Hey guys, welcome to the second part of Armageddon, which is pretty sure this is going to be the final part of Armageddon too. There's just not a whole lot more to look at. What I've got here is a kind of matchbox or slightly larger than matchbox sized space shuttle and space station. It's simply called Action Site's Space Station. It features a launching shuttle and a collapsible space station. So on the back there's not much to speak of. It just shows that there is a space vehicle with removable rocket boosters and their fueling space station, which I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be from the movie The Russian Station that they dock with to refuel after leaving Earth, which completely explodes. The real enemy in this movie is just mechanical failure, because really all their stuff just breaks and it always causes a problem. Alright, so here's the space shuttle. It's one of two that they have in the movie. It's die-cast wings anyway, and bottom or make it pretty solid and heavy. Rocket boosters just kind of tab off here. Seems like there should be a vertical stabilizer, and it has enormous engines on the back. It's a pretty good Hot Wheels-like representation of what's in the movie. Now the strangest thing has got to be the space station. Like at first when I took it out, I thought it was just kind of flimsy and strange, but that's because of its action feature. You press this gray button and it falls apart. I guess that's supposed to be simulating it exploding. But then you twist this and it increases the tension on the rubber band that holds the whole thing together, and it just resets itself. I have to say that is pretty unique. So its second feature, as if that wasn't enough, is that you snap the shuttle in, and with this button it launches, and it actually goes a pretty decent distance. Kind of a strange little set, but fun nonetheless. The other Action Site set that I picked up is the Explosion Zone. So it comes with the armadillo drilling rover thing. It apparently has an operating bomb crane to drop the nuke, and an exploding asteroid, which looks like either a kind of a geode type look, I guess it's supposed to be in there. We will see. But it also comes with two figures. But the funny thing is those guys are somewhat to scale with the armadillo, but not at all to scale with the space station and space shuttle that are supposed to, be in this same kind of line here. So the scale issues are just all over the place for this line. So it looks like it's got an extending crane. You can put one of the dudes in the cockpit. You get to drop the bomb into the drill hole and press button to explode and send Bruce Willis to his death. So the explosion zone comes with two of these little dudes in their spacesuits. They have arm articulation and somewhat independently moving legs. They remind me of a smaller version of the Air Raiders figures, actually. But that's not bad for the size. They move around and move their arms. The armadillo is mostly plastic. It has a rotating crane that extends and retracts, and it also just kind of sits in there on a peg, so it comes out very easily. It's got the tiny Goodyear logo on there, so they didn't forget the sponsorship. The bomb on the back is removable. Still some remains of what used to be a rubber band on there. But this is actually die-cast, so this is much heavier than the rest of the armadillo. It just snaps on the back really well. All of the wheels independently roll, but there's no kind of side-to-side suspension, which would have been cool on something like this. But it has a tow hitch in the back, but it doesn't come with anything to tow. The cockpit does open. There's a tiny seat in there, and you can put a tiny man in there. You gotta really stuff them in there, but there you go. And this is the crater playset here, which the crappy overspray all over it makes me think that the inside is not going to be anywhere near as cool as the one on the box. So I will do my best to get this thing to work. The crater itself is on a hair trigger. There's the armadillo with its bomb. You gotta kind of really angle it in there. But it does work. It's extremely sensitive to anything touching it. But as you can see, It's just red spray paint. Looks nothing like that. And last and certainly not least, we have this very large box that is the Armadillo drilling vehicle. Working drill, Gatling gun, extreme all-terrain wheels, deep drilling action, aim Gatling gun, and fire missile. Cover looks like it's just a very large product shot with some effects added to it. We shall see how the paint job holds up in comparison. On the back it says the control unit opens. It doesn't say anywhere that this comes with any figures, so even though the front opens, there's nothing to put in it. No figures will go in this. Ridiculous. So out of the box we've got the Armadillo and its cardboard shroud there, drilling vehicle instructions, and stickers. And of course the Goodyear stickers on there too. Well, here's the Armadillo drilling vehicle. The coolest part of it by far is that each of the wheels is actually rubber, and they all are on independent swivels, so you can drive on that rough terrain on the asteroid coming to kill Earth. The stickers are horrible. Like, they didn't even bother matching the gray of the body on these stickers, so they just stick out like sore thumbs. I mean, all they would have had to do is make it transparent with a white sticker and it would have looked fine. These windows are all just stickers. There's a sticker that's supposed to go over a spot that's not big enough for it. This top hatch, there's this caution sticker on the back that's too big. Yeah, they're not sticking very well anyway, so it has a few things it can do besides rolling. There's this hatch on the top, which they labeled as a storage hatch. I guess you could maybe put the missiles in there, but I don't think they're quite long, so I doubt it. Cockpit opens for no one, since none of the figures are this scale. The big feature is this large drill that just snaps on in the instructions, and you just kind of tilt it, and this plunger, it goes all of what, an inch maybe? That's all it does. Deep drilling action. And it has a pivoting, what they keep calling a Gatling gun, but it is funny that even the missiles are drill themed. They fire. It's very much like the one that Harry Stamper comes with. It's much smaller than you'd think when you see the size of the box. I mean, the box is enormous, but it's quite small. Pretty disappointing. This thing is all about what it doesn't have. It doesn't have a figure. It doesn't have anything to store. It doesn't have the bomb that they bring to blow up the asteroid. And it doesn't even have a drill that goes very far. I mean, that's the only thing that happens in this movie, is they drill a really long hole and things break and explode. Yeah, I don't know what they were expecting you to do. I guess if you had like a sandbox, this thing could be pretty fun. But it's not going to be drilling any holes. Oh, and as a quick aside, there was a vertical stabilizer for the shuttle. It had just fallen off and fallen on the floor, because it's not held in by anything. And while I was holding it, the wheels popped off. So it's just like the movie, everything's a piece of junk. So that's gonna do it for Armageddon, mercifully. Confusingly done by Hot Wheels in 1998. I think this gets the point across that there's no consistency to this toy line or any kind of focus. It's all over the place in scale. Even the small scale ones are not in scale with each other. I guess you can reenact the scene where these two like yell at each other for like the large impactful parts, and then throw this thing down the stairs for when it gets destroyed, and have your tearful goodbye with extremely tiny people. Yeah, and this thing is just awful for being like the centerpiece thing. I mean, I was not able to find the space shuttle, and I'm kind of glad, but I don't think it would be any better. I do think my favorite part was this wonky space station that falls apart. I think next we're finally going to do something that's not a crummy movie tie-in, so that will be exciting. As always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.